Because we love when you guys intervene and come and chat with us. We had a guest last week, Lord Inky, and if you didn't go and see that, go check that out.
Part 1 is now on YouTube. Part 2 will be dropping tomorrow. So make sure you are following the YouTube channel because there was a lot packed into that 2 hours last week. And even our computer and everything just like shut down. I don't know. So
yeah,
it was a lot going on. Mercury retrograde is around the corner. Mm-hmm. Oh, I think it might be already here.
That's what I'm hearing. Every time something
you might hear back from your ex. You might have some glitches here and there.
Right.
But we're excited because tonight.
Super excited. I want to take a moment to also just wish Shireen and Andy and her family well. My mom just let me know that you guys are not feeling good right now during these times. And I'm just wishing you good health and, fast recovery for what's going on with you and your family. I think since I'm bringing that up, like Lord Inky coming through and just giving us so much knowledge on wellness, it's like, please take care of your health. That is the number one thing that you need to do at this time because your health is in danger. Like you're actually at war with your health. So make sure you're like really taking care of yourself, drinking a lot of water, working out, just really doing things that actually
promote
you.
Wellness and promotes you actually taking care of yourself. I think it's important that we take care of ourselves. And
that is so much of one thing that this time. Sorry, repeat what you just said. I apologize. I just wanted to make sure that I could even hear myself. So sorry about that.
No, I was just saying that I think it's important to continue to think about your health and always want to be improving on that because you're never at a goal. It's a continuous thing with your health. So that was great that we got that last
Aren't
week.
You excited for us? Like we had a guest come in and I know you guys, just basically maybe just getting the information and just like listening, but it's nice to have someone who's an expert at something because I know you guys don't believe in our words. So we just want to have someone who knows what they're talking about come on in and like just excited about the new things that are happening in our lives.
Right.
Tone Deaf. Shout out to TDR Network. Go ahead and hit them up. They have so many podcasts on there. We're even on there. So support us. And good evening, Tone Deaf.
Good evening. Yes. Thank you for tuning in as always. So yes, definitely go check out their radio station, their network, TDR Network.
Yes.
All the podcasts is on there and they're live. Like sometimes I don't really be on social media, but sometimes I be seeing that y'all live. So
yeah.
I'm gonna have to check in on y'all, but thank you for showing up.
Yes, for sure.
And we have J Dub with the True. Hey, Jay.
Hey, Jay.
We ain't seen y'all in a while.
You know why you didn't see him? It's because he wasn't feeling good. I seen the post, and I'm hoping that you're doing very well. You're tuning in, so I know you're doing well. Huh?
Okay.
You're doing well.
Again, with health, guys, let's keep it, healthy out here.
Yeah.
Let's keep ourselves as a priority and, get in as far as we need to in life. So tonight's topic is rites of passage.
Right.
How did we stumble on this topic and what is it about? Mm-hmm. We have, Jay says feeling better. Thanks.
I'm so happy that
Great that you're feeling better.
Yeah.
Perfect. Mm-hmm. So with because we're so connected.
Sure. Yeah.
So it's like I is we, whatever you feel, whatever you go through, somebody else has went through it and did it. Like you're not the only person who's been through the same thing.
Right.
But I and we feel like
you got this. feels like
No, I know, but it wasn't even feel like. It was more about why it's the rites of passage.
Okay.
So I was sending you a video.
Yes.
About all week we've been obsessed with, I feel like, zodiacs and new information on ourselves, because we discovered human design. I don't know if anybody's heard of it. And it kind of tells you whether you're a generator, a projector, a manifester. You know, it's kind of like a natal chart. It's kind of like numerology. It's just a system to kind of put you in a box. But I digress. It is helpful. But I had sent you that, and then we kind of been into the whole self looking in and really looking into Pisces and stuff. So I've been sending you a bunch of different things that go specific to your human design, your nature. And then we came across this guy.
Oh yeah.
And he was saying how he hates Capricorns, why he hates Pisces.
Oh my gosh.
And
yeah.
Then he made a video that I found very, very interesting. And I'm going to see if I can pull it up here. I don't know if I can, but you can finish telling the story.
Okay. Well, basically what his thing was, you know, he's very stern on okay, let me tell you a little bit about his background. He is a person who's been in the streets. Like, he's a Black.
Why you got to say all that?
No, I already had it available. I'm just letting them know what kind of personality he has before he pops up. So, and if he is able to, we're able to hear it. And I know exactly where to start from. So I already had it available.
Wave hybrid was designed for me.
Okay. You don't have to, it wasn't there because I took it down.
Oh, okay. No worries. So basically he has experience on what he's talking about, because he is a American Black man. And he explained that Black men are actually, they never they don't have
a rite of passage like other cultures. And that's what we'll be able to see in the video if I can get it up. Can you show me how to do it?
Sure.
Okay.
So you go ahead and speak.
I sent her this video about this topic, and she was like, yeah, let's watch it. I mean, let's talk about it. Let's get it on.
Go ahead.
Let's get it on the show. And I don't know if I wanted to.
Because you said that you didn't want to bring negativity onto the show.
It wasn't, yeah.
Yeah. Because talking negative, it just brings a lot of negativity in the world. But you got to understand that, we live in a duality. You have good and bad. And I know that people don't like to talk about negative stuff, but I think our men, especially our Black American men, they need to hear this, because this might be something that they might feel like, hey, I do resonate on that. I do feel that, and they can overcome it and make change in their life. And so I really wanted to talk about this, but Isabel definitely was like, no, I want to do more fun. I don't want to discuss things that will kind of get you guys on another level. But this is coming from someone who is a Black male, and he's going to explain, if she's able to let this happen, that he is saying that Black men in America.
You don't have to say what he said.
No, I'm not saying what he said, but I'm just saying Black men in America don't ever become men. They always will stay a boy. And he'll explain the reason why. So, and I feel like that is true, and I will intervene while he speaks, but, it just really depends on how it flows, So
I don't understand why this is not working, because it's checked.
You just have to go to they tell you.
I already did it.
Oh, okay. So it's application window. Or you could do the Chrome tab. Maybe that would work better. And it's right here. Yep. And you could start at 117.
Oh, Damian Samuels. Hey, Anki. Thank you for being here. Yes. He says, peace and love. Okay, hold on.
So she finally got how to do it.
I know how to do it, but okay.
To see it.
Okay, guys. Sorry. I'm trying to figure this out.
Go to the tab and...
Got it. Okay, so where's this at?
117.
So...
You can't be able to see the number?
I can. Are you sure that's at the right part?
Yeah, I've done my research.
Okay. All right, guys. So, yeah, shout out to Anki. Thank you for coming in tonight. We're excited to have you. So we're going to put this on and we're going to hear what this guy has to say about it. And then we'll comment.
We'll watch as a school.
We're going to, have some fun tonight. So get your pen and papers and get ready.
Research.
Let's have a good time. Okay.
But pause it real quick. I don't see it on here.
It will be.
Okay.
Just give me a second. Okay.
All right. Okay.
And let me just make sure. I don't know how y'all seeing it.
That's fine.
All right, cool. So yeah. His page is called Offset Miss y'all can see it right here.
Y'all can read.
Y'all can read, right? Okay. Let's see.
Black men will always be boys.
You gotta start it.
I have a personal belief that, average black man, no matter how old he is, really surpasses it about 17 years old. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're talking about America, you know what I'm saying?
It should go back?
You look at the fashion, you look at the clothes, you look at,
Okay, guys, sorry. We're not from the beginning because he's going to be...
So then which part?
When you see him sitting down...
That's where it was. Sorry, guys.
It's her first time.
It's her first time.
Black men will always be boys.
All right, we'll keep it like that.
I have a personal belief that, average black man, no matter how old he is, really surpasses it about 17 years old. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're talking about America, you know what I'm saying? You look at the hat, you look at the fashion, you look at the clothes, you look at, typically like the music we listen to is youthful shit like hip hop, with R&B. This music really for like younger motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? So in our heart, we don't want to grow. It's like Toys R Us. Like, I don't want to grow up like a Toys R Us kid. You gotta understand, we're living in the age of Pisces. Pisces is kind of like a child, not like an Aries child, but like, you know what I'm saying, more like a child of the mind. You know what I'm saying? So a child like in your belief system, like called blindness state. So this is what you get a lot of times with black men. Obviously, I'm a black man, so I can speak on this. I grew up in the church under my mom. My mom used to give us a lot of dialogue. You know, say the Roman Catholic Church. Same people would say sold us into slavery. You know what I'm saying? That shit ended up, you know what I'm saying?
So before we keep going, guys.
Let me put a disclaimer out there. This man is going to have vulgar language, profanity, excuse me. There's going to be profanity. He does smoke. So just understand that we're just getting the information.
The message.
So don't judge a book by its cover. Just hear the message and we're going to intervene. We're not going to talk about, hey, he's doing this, he's doing that.
Let's hear the message.
To his story.
But so far, I have to say.
What do you have to say?
I agree with what he's saying. Mm-hmm. Because we do see black men.
Right. And black men, American black men, please comment down below if you disagree or if you agree, intervene, because we're watching this as a family, as if we were having movie night. We're just going to actually learn from this conversation and see where we can grow and how can black men find themselves throughout this whole thing. So, and if you just
black culture, because it's not even
only the black man. It's the black woman as well.
It's okay.
All right. So we're learning and we're going to actually hear what he has to say without judgment. Okay.
Me questioning a lot of shit that I used to see. So what led me down the road, I used to see that, like, man, my mom never really kind of, right? Not just me, but like a lot of the moms in the community never really see their men as men. Now, when I went to go see Black Panther, Me and both.
I feel like that's powerful right there.
Yeah.
What he just said. In the community, Black women never see the Black men as men.
No.
Not their sons.
No. Not their boyfriends.
They take control.
Right. Yeah. So let us know what you think. Do you guys think that Black men don't feel like their mother women treat them as men, not as boys, telling you what to do? Like, let us know how you feel about that. This is how he feels, but I also want to know how you feel.
J-Dub says, I don't agree.
Okay.
Let us know why.
Why not? Why don't you agree?
Let us know. Because you're a Black man. But let's keep it going.
Let's hear what he has to say.
It really opened my eyes to this shit. You know what I'm saying? I want to go see Black Panther. You know what I'm saying? They had to see with Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett is T'Challa's mom. You know what I'm saying? And they had a scene where, like, anybody in the whole city could come out and challenge him to a fight. But they could kill it. Like, if they want to kill him, they could kill you, like, right from your mom. Your mom couldn't do shit about it. You know what I'm saying? And this was a shit that was going on. What the fuck? Like, why the fuck would they let him get his ass whooped and almost killed in front of his mom? Because this is a right. It's called a rites of passage. You know what I'm saying? Now, black men don't have a rites of passage. You know, so you think of America. In America, there's no ceremony per se that's like, okay, you're a man now. You know what I'm saying? You look at Jews.
Definitely pause.
Okay.
How do you feel about that? Like, do you feel like Black American men or boys have a rites of passage?
Yeah. Inky says, I don't agree either.
Okay.
Please tell us why
not?
You don't agree.
Why don't you agree?
J-Dub says it depends on your surroundings. That is a big part. I
thought the same thing. I felt like
I thought the same thing.
Can I say my piece?
Go ahead.
I feel like if you're in the urban area, you won't feel like you have a rite of passage because you won't see that many people doing things that show that they become a man, as in other cultures and other places. And then you go to a suburban area, there's a lot of people who have, like, you know, they kind of show you that feel. Like, there's parents that are showing their kids to, like, be independent, like, you know, to me. But hey, let's hear what you guys have to say.
I also think, like, I think it depends, like he said, on your environment. I think the rites of passage changes through each environment. Right. When you're in, you know, environment where there's a lot more criminal activity going on. Maybe your rites of passage is being in that gang. Maybe your rites of passage is being in... But let that guy
say that because he has something...
Yeah, but that's my thought too. So, you know, I think that it's also like it's different, but that also leads you down a path as well. So it's like, what is your rites of passage? Because, you know, Black culture isn't necessarily, you know, like way down in history. It's like we're going as we're going. We're making things up as we go, right? Because they're not pulling from like deep back traditions. They're making it up as they go. They think hip hop music now is like, that's culture, right? J-Dub said, I grew up around positive male figures in a Black community. That's right. Exactly.
So it's not every Black American.
Wrong. Man. My area was very Black and low income. Right. But if there's criminal activity going on, that does, well, where I grew up, what I would say with that is because I grew up in a place that wasn't criminal activity, but you were able to go to schools, any school you wanted to in the Boston area. So you can go to, you would choose to go to the more popular school where that would be like, you'll be associated with everybody. Right. So then you'll get into gangs, you get into things like that. That was the culture through hip hop and what was considered cool, because that's what the children, the young kids were doing, because we're taking the bus, we're on the subways, we're, you know, in the life in the city. So you're criminal activity is part of city life. Yeah. So yeah, but it is where your area and where you're brought up to. But let's keep going. Okay, hold on.
Jews have shit called like what the fuck is that shit called? Oh man. They have a ceremony, you know what I'm saying, where they invite the whole family out, people get money. What is this shit called?
It's called a bar mitzvah.
Somebody know, they'll leave it in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Jews, the ceremony was like, you're a man now. They put you on a chair and they lift you up in the
bar mitzvah.
You know what I'm saying? Even females, you know what I'm saying, you speak Spanish culture, you know what I'm saying, they have this thing called a cotillion. You know what I'm saying? I think it's like when you're 15. You know what I'm saying? They have this big celebration. So, okay, you're a woman now. You know what I'm saying? It's like a rites of passage. Yeah. Okay. It's called a bar mitzvah, I think it's called. Yes. I think it's called a bar mitzvah for Jewish. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it's like, okay, you're a man now. There's an indoctrination there that says, okay, you're no longer a boy, you're a man now. Now, they also use that some shit. But, you know, in Africa, certain places, they circumcise. You know what I'm saying? Like, they bring you out in front of your family or, you know what I'm saying, your community, and they cut the skin off, you know, the foreskin off your dick and say, okay, you're a man now. So there's a price of passage. So America don't have no rites of passage like that for men. Typically, other than that, it's like a wedding. You know what I'm saying? But like that's
can you pause that real quick?
You know what I'm saying? That's inclusive.
Now, it's like he says at the end of that was like it's like a wedding for Black Americans. Right. But there's not much weddings. There's more baby showers than weddings, I would say.
That is true. There's a lot of baby showers going on in America, period.
Right,
not even only the Black community, in all communities. I'm seeing
about this one because that's what he's bringing up at this time. So like, Black men. So this has to go to the Black men at this time.
Right. Okay. Let me
see where to start from.
Sorry, guys. I was constantly taught, Jay says, I was constantly taught being a Black man. Oh my gosh. Okay. Being a Black man in Potomac, Michigan had plenty of criminal activity. Right. Okay. Yeah. But I mean, you had positive male figures around you. But if you don't have positive male figures around you,
and you don't have
like any of that, you're good. Most of the men who, I seen growing up, they would go to their homies, which was like living on a certain block, and they rep that block. And then, I mean, I lived in Boston. And I've had friends who passed away because of gang violence. Yeah. And I didn't even live in that area.
It's just because you went to school with these people.
Right. Yeah. And because of their, because men need that. I feel like men need that guidance because you can't go to your mother for everything. You're going to need that man to be your discipline, because women are going to tell you the answer emotionally. We're going to dig into our emotions and give it out. A guy's going to give you the answer very logically and practically. And a man needs that. You know what I mean? Yeah. And so they find that like, okay, we're going to be down. You're going to get jumped in the hood. We're going to sell some drugs. We're going to get some money.
But you got to understand,
chill and
the moral of the story is that both parents has to be involved. So I'm thinking like, if these situations are happening, Jay, you may have had both your parents, or maybe you just had your mom, but your mom she knew how to protect you. There's some parents that are like, they do the best that they can, but they let their kids play outside. They're not actually like making their kids have a different kind of experience in life where the street doesn't raise them. Right. So when the street raises you, you're going to get this kind of way of becoming an American boy. And so this is why there's a lot of more American Black men who experienced this kind of living that this guy is talking about, because they didn't have both parents. But if they did have both parents, none of the parents were actually involved. They let the school system raise them. They let the streets raise them, and they did the best that they can by giving them shelter, but not actually teaching them. And Lord Enki, when you were here, you also explained that how, parents should let their kids, have that experience of being abroad and like kind of like actually figuring out life to become something and to have their own way of thoughts. So if
that's like a rites of passage too.
Exactly.
Enki says rites of passage is earned like respect is earned. Right. Exactly. And I feel like kind of what he was saying was true, is like in cultures and in when you get in a gang, you gotta earn yourself to get in that gang. Like when you earn yourself to get into a fraternity, a lot of guys will find it in the army, will find it in, different outlets, but men tend to usually need that or want that. And the problem is that I think that in the Black community, it's too many times that they go to the, the part that's going to get them either killed or put in jail.
Right. But is what they thrive for, because they don't want to work a 9 to 5. They don't want to,
when I say
that quick cash.
Right. Jay says, when I say surroundings, I mean mental surroundings. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. That's 100%. Like, and that comes to the people that you're around, what you're consuming, what's the foods around you, where's your mindset, where's your, like, a lot of people, influence? You couldn't be around a lot of people and they're not thinking past, 35. They're not thinking past even next year. It literally is just that. Jay says, I'm filtering through the smoking and all that. Brother's not making much sense.
I told you, don't judge him.
He said he's not making sense. He says, it's a choice. Bottom line, I can pick out 5 brothers on the same block and their choice as individuals created their outcome. Right.
But not this
I don't have both parents. Yeah, and the positive,
the Black community,
but you were able to see positive males
because of your whoever parent that you had,
whatever you was able to see,
there to be there for you. Whoever lasted is the one that taught you to not experience that. They protected you in that form, so you wouldn't experience what this man is talking about,
right?
And what he's filtering in and out with. So
yeah,
congratulations to you.
Yeah, for sure. Because, like, we already know you on your business.
Sorry, we're watching.
You on your business with your insurance, and you have that mindset already. So, that's what you were bound to do and be. Because even people who may be selling on the block and doing stuff like that, they're still like in a business mindset. It's just not legal,
right?
Enki says most urban man is illiterate and childish, so the women don't respect them too much. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I figured that too. Definitely too much. You know what I'm saying on that one.
All right, let's get back to it.
Let's see. Let's finish this.
So a female, let's say your wife, your counterpart. So you were just trying to answer like, well, damn, like, if you're a Black man growing up in America, like, how the fuck do you really know when you're a man? It's like, your mom don't have no ceremony there, you know what I'm saying, to let her know that you're a man, you know what I'm saying? So, like, she always gonna kind of see you as a boy, so that's why you kind of see, like, Black men constantly being shunned by their mom, like, son, like, you know what I'm saying, just kind of talk down to us, like, motherfucker, you're not a man, like, they don't never see you as a man, you know what I'm saying? So, like, this, I made another video talking about all women are feminine. It's kind of related to, these type of conversations I was having with phone. We're really exploring this in the childhood.
Does he mean men or women?
If you're a Black man, you only a Black man, like, when you need it, you know what I'm saying, for some other game, now you're a man, right? Other than that, motherfucker, like, you're a boy. You know what I'm saying? There was never no rites of passage. Now, you got to understand, like, I grew up in Chicago. I grew up on the South Side and the West Side. It's a lot of gang activity out here. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now, these motherfuckers got a rites of passage. It's like, okay, you go join the motherfucking gang, the first thing they're going to do, they're going to beat the shit out of you. The same shit you seen in Black Panther. Like, they're going to stomp your ass in the motherfucking corner and say, okay, you've been jumped in. to the game. So I'm saying, no, this is a rites of passage. You know what I'm saying? Then they put your ass on the corner, sell some dope. You know what I'm saying? Like, give you a motherfucking gun. It's like, okay, you a man now. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the gang culture kind of understand it. Like, somewhere in the back of every black man's mind, it's like, we supposed to go through some type of rites of passage. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, because we don't have that, a lot of us motherfuckers go to the gang culture and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So you see a spiral that like, is a black boy looking for, clout, prove himself to be a man, but ain't no system, there ain't no rites of passage. So, like, he want to prove himself to himself that he a man. So you get this shit. So he don't want to be a...
So Jay says the rites of passage is having a positive male reach out, teach the younger men. Exactly.
Right.
And I think that is the part that's missing, because a lot of the time, if you're in a situation where you don't have, he could be positive in a way, but it's still... But you OGs in the hood and stuff.
That person's not going to be there for that person forever. That person who reach out, they're going to reach out, do the best that they can, but they're going to leave them because they're going to always have to figure out how to do it by themselves. But if they don't know how to get out, like some of these guys are not like these hood guys that's going through this right as we speak. We're talking about this, and they don't have somebody doing that, and they're not going to go on YouTube and find somebody who's offering that kind of service. They're not the ones going to therapy. Like, they're not doing that.
Right.
So, like, they need their money and they need it now because they're not dependent on their mom. They're not dependent on their dad because they may not have their dad. So it's like really a real life situation. And the reason why I think that this is important to talk about is because these people who are in that frequency, they're the ones that's killing each other, the other black males. And like, there's not much of us who are surviving because we're just doing some reckless stuff because we just want to be a man and show men, other black males, that, hey, I got a gun. I got this. I got that. I got money. I got girls. I got this. I got that. And it's like their mindset is like, they don't know how to be a man. They think that part is being a man, but it's not. So it's just a whole bunch of...
Jay says, so Isaiah Thomas didn't get that. He grew up in Chicago. Yeah. And, that's the exception. Mm-hmm. But the rule, I feel like it's like you said before, it's the choice. Mm. And not everybody has the same mindset to do differently than what they see. Mm-hmm. A lot of people decide, okay, this is what's going on here. I'm going to go do that because that's what I want. I want the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing. Others say, this ain't it. Mm-hmm. They can see the facade.
Right.
But I mean, everybody's realized that. I mean, when you get to a certain, say you've been clubbing for a while and then you get to a certain age and then you realize, why am I going to the club? This is ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But you didn't see that when you were in that energy. Yeah. So a lot of these people aren't able to see, it's my choice, that I don't have to do this, that this is better, that, I mean, the way I think now, if I was able to go back into school, I would have excelled in everything even further because now I'm able to learn and study. I can do it all easily now. Mm-hmm. But I think a lot of people, it's that mentalness around you and what is around you, and what's mostly around these kids, hip hop music. Like I said, I've seen it. It's just a continuous cycle. J-Dub says, I'm sorry, that's a weak excuse. Exactly.
It sounds like a weak
excuse. It is a weak excuse. I agree. It is a weak excuse. I'm number one to say, pull up yourself by the bootstraps. Mm-hmm. But you know what? The thing of it is a weak excuse. But because the starting point, and we kind of touched on this before, is like the starting point for Black America is really not on the level of the same fields as as
all other nations, all other races, or any of that.
Really. Mm-hmm. And even like the basis of like Caucasian America, because they starting point got land, got majority of the wealth beginning. And since then, Black people, since having their freedom, has continuously had to work harder to get the same thing. And so it's continuously, work hard while being oppressed. So through, that filtering, yes, some people will see through that and prevail and go and manifest their own reality. But there will be some people who still are left behind and are subject to the oppression, are subject to the manipulation, the programming, the issues that we see in the Black community that, we're not known to be, the smartest, but we are doctors. We are now. We're getting there to be more recognized and to do that more.
They're trying to give us our clout now, even though we've been doing.
But if you look at the generation of what the mainstream is going towards, and they're listening to their favorite rappers. Everybody wants to be an artist. Exactly. Everybody wants to. Nobody's thinking like, whatever. Let's keep going. I think it's a weak excuse too, though.
Boy, you know what I'm saying? Even though you think of the title of this video, it's like, oh shit, like what the fuck? Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't no boy, you know what I'm saying? But then you stop and think, well, when the fuck did they give you a fucking indoctrination of when you're a man? You don't really have it. You know what I'm saying? That's other than really graduate, like let's say you graduate high school, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like, okay, well, you're a man. When you really compare the concept of graduating high school to like the images you're seeing in Black Panther, or like the concept of getting jumped into a gang and shit like that. Like, it's not a real rites of passage. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, you graduated from high school, but like, they're not really telling you you're a man. Or like, you thinking, like I said, in Africa, they circumcise you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is not graduating from high school. It's not the same shit. You know what I'm saying? So, and another thing too, like something you might look at over in India, they got this shit called the Indian mother-in-law syndrome. But this is crazy shit. Indian mother-in-law. Like over in India, you know what I'm saying? The mothers over there are ruthless as fuck. Like they hate their daughter-in-law. It's like part of the culture that hates your daughter-in-law and like fucking shit on them. Because like they kind of respect the man as quote unquote the king. Like when you see in Black Panther, like even his mom, T'Challa's mom, she bowed down to the king. So I'm saying it was his mom, she was like, my king, she's like, you the king. So like,
I don't know.
I want to, but I do want to talk about, J-Dub says no argument there. I think he said that when we were talking about something else, but I want to talk about what he said about like the respect of the man being the king.
Okay.
And I feel as though that part, the Black women need to take responsibility of. It's like, do you allow your children to become kings, to become men?
Some of them would say that they do.
Some do.
But some do, and some
But
don't.
I've witnessed a lot not.
Of single Black mothers who have sons, they won't let go of their son. They're like, no, this girl, she's no good for him. Oh no, she's not good for him. Because she never wants him to grow. She never wants him to leave.
Right.
She wants him to be there because she's single and she's by herself and she doesn't want to find her own life and create her own thing. And she's scared that her son's going to forget about her. And so she disagrees with every woman that he brings in his life. So that, I don't know where I got that from, but that's something I feel like a lot of single, young.
Right. Jay says, it sounds like he's looking for an excuse or for someone or some event to tell him to be a man. Shaking my head. Right.
Yeah.
But there's usually, like, for women, for women, we have hours when we, are able to reproduce, when we start that cycle.
Yeah, we do. When we have our menstrual.
Right. So we kind of get that knowledge. And now you're having these conversations because you technically are a woman. Right. You are forced into womanhood in that case. And so is the man. But women, we have to deal with it every month. So we're continuously reminded of what that means. And
what's the men get? What do they like I want to know, what's the rites of passage? This is a real question. You guys are saying all this, but what do you feel like is the rites of passage? What is the rites of passage when a man knows that he's a man and no longer a boy? in the American community, the Black American community.
It could be when he's 13 and he wakes up from what I don't know what
That's
his
what
is.
I want to know. What is it? What is the real time that he says, okay, I'm a man? Because I still don't think that just because he knows how to have sex, that he's a man.
Yeah. Jay says, I'm tired of folks using comic book for guidance. Yeah. Okay. Jay says those types of mothers do hurt men to an degree. Yes, they definitely hurt men because they don't know how to let go. And if you don't know how to let him, to make his own decisions, make him deal with all his stuff and hold him accountable, treat him like a man, not your husband, not your son, but a man. And I've seen women make excuses for their sons. That's the whole thing about when they be saying, "Oh, somebody's son going to do this. Somebody better get your son." Like, because it's like that's the. I just think I've just seen the two types.
Yeah,
I've seen
it in real life.
A man with parents or not, like you said, you can just take that initiative and say, I'm doing this for myself. It's a rites of passage for myself.
Right.
And what happened?
Okay, let's see.
Enki says a man is a man when he has his own. Period.
Okay, I feel that.
Period. Period. And I've seen a lot of men not have their own and live off of women.
Yeah.
And it's that's a very common thing. And that's the craziest part, because that is a big part of it. Because once a man has his own, nobody can tell him what he can do. Nobody can tell him what he becomes the man. Yeah. And women respect him as a man, because women like when men have their own. Right. Women like when men can provide and do things not only for himself, but her too. Women are extremely attracted to men like that, because now there is no doubt in their mind that's a man right there. She doesn't have to do anything to make sure that he's a man. And that's really like a big thing, is like, that is a huge rites of passage. That is a huge rites of passage.
Feels like that's how we learn how to get our rites of passage.
That is true.
Who taught you that though?
That is true. Jay says when he has a sense of responsibility to do better, period. Okay. That is a rite of passage. Enki says a man can't be a man in his mother's house or in a girlfriend's house, especially if she's on a public assistance. Jay says true.
Is leeching off her
facts.
That she don't have, because she's actually leeching off the government, and now you're on top of her. Like you might as well. That's when she says you're her son.
Right.
So
yeah, and like that is. And the crazy thing of it is, I've seen so many men like that.
Doing that. Yeah.
And I'm like, what is the point?
Because they don't want to be men. That's why those men. That's why
they don't want to be men.
Never become men. They still staying as boys. So.
Right. Do you guys want to still go on with this video? Should we keep going? Let's give it a little bit.
Let's finish it up. Almost done.
In America, you ain't gonna never see, like, black man mom bow down to him as a motherfucking king. Like, she had to be a part of this rites of passage. Like, she knew her place. Even though she was the mom, she still had to bow down to the king. You know what I'm saying? So, like, they don't give us no rites of passage like that. You know what I'm saying? So you see the nigga walking down the street with his hat cocked to the right with a pistol in his motherfucking hip. So why the fuck is he that kind of like? Because he ain't had no rites of passage to prove you're a man. So you gonna get as a fucking boy man. You gonna get what the fuck you looking at? Go lay down. Oh, exactly. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? So, so you get black men forever trying to look young. You get us trying to, like, you know what I'm saying?
Like you.
The culture is always, it's right there next to adolescence. You know what I'm saying? It's right there next to like 17, 18, you know what I'm saying, 19 years old. You know what I'm saying? Jay-Z got a song called Forever Young. You know what I'm saying? Where he kind of talk about the same type of shit. And then, like, you got to think, like, Jay-Z's music, he captures a lot of the child boyhood, like, you know what I'm saying, energy that us black men we have. You know what I'm saying? So, like, we study Rockefeller, we study, like, the music labels, like, a lot of stuff that happened in the music labels become a sort of rites of passage for us in order to express ourselves as men, because, like, there's really not a lot of avenues out here that's gonna come out and tell you, okay, you're a man now. You see what I'm saying? So like we do music, we do all type of. You see black men act the way they act. A lot of that shit looked the way it looked because there was never no rites of passage. You see what I'm saying? So we be trying to explore different avenues to try to find our manhood. You see what I'm saying? Created a lot of, like, for me, believe it or not, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. Like, back in the day, man, I was fucking around with these motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? It was called the Four Corner Hustlers, you know what I'm saying? I had joined these motherfuckers and shit, and so me at the time, I felt it was stupid. It was like some shit I felt I had to do at the time, you know what I'm saying? But, like, at the end of the day, I never really banged. It was like, okay, I ran into some motherfuckers, and I ran into their goddamn indoctrination, and we kind of banged for a week, and then I left that. I was like, man, shit's stupid. I was fucking lunch along. You know what I'm saying? But, like, you know, other than that, like, I never, you know what I'm saying? I never had no fucking rites of passage. Like, when I heard myself coming through the fucking speaker for the first time on a song, I was like that was a fucking real eye-opening experience for myself. It was almost like a rites of passage, you know what I'm saying, for myself. Also, too, like, when I went into the military, you know what I'm saying, I completed boot camp. You know what I'm saying? That was like a rites of passage for me, too. And I literally came out feeling like a man. You know what I'm saying? But, like, other than that, like, a lot of black men are lost. They don't have, you know what I'm saying, we be looking for our manhood, and it come out a lot of times fucked up. You know what I'm saying? So, like, you see, you know, institutionalized, little motherfuckers going to jail, police, you know, turning it up. You see shit like this because, like, we was never given that rites of passage. You know what I'm saying? So, like, if you are a black man and you've experienced it and you feel that way, I just, you know what I'm saying, and you know, with all due respect to Poe, you know what I'm saying? Poe was really the motherfucker who really put me on to this concept. You know what I'm saying? So, like,
all right. Okay. So, I mean, let's see. Enki says the urban mentality is a criminal mind. They use each other. That's the crab in the barrel mentality. Period.
So sad.
Jay says no. Enki says rites of passage means a man do not compromise his manhood without breaking any universal laws. Right.
If they even know what universal law is, Enki.
Right. Jay says, why should I have something tell me I'm a man? No, makes no sense. Right. But sometimes I feel like sometimes you do need that thing to make you realize who you are so it can ground you and put you back. Like, you know, like I recently just read a letter I wrote to myself, and it was the first time I ever wrote. It was like literally just like a random journal entry on like a legal pad, and I randomly found it, and I was reading it, and it was back in 2013. So I was like 20, and I'm like reading it, and I'm talking about my experience and what, you know, I wanted in life and what I was doing. And it was like, it grounded me to the moment that I'm at now, where it was like, I needed to hear that so I could know my next move. Cause you do need that, you know, celebration, that reminder, that, you know, struggle that you can hold on to and say, and that's a marker in my life that I'm going to use as an experience to pivot me in a direction. So I do feel like, yeah, I get like you don't necessarily need that, but you do need like something that's going to put you in a position to, you know, look at yourself differently and or position yourself differently, especially as children, especially as impressionable, especially with all of the attacks that goes on to, you know, manipulate and, you know, the propaganda, the oppression, all of that. It's like you need as much of the reminder, like you're a man, you have responsibilities, you have this, because if so many of your men are falling into becoming institutionalized, to be, you know, dead and all that stuff and susceptible to all these negative things, then there definitely needs to be reminders put out there.
Exactly. And that's why it's amazing for people who do, you know, who do reach out to these young men who are in the hood and who are making these bad choices to like kind of like open their eyes to like saying like, hey, oh shoot. I thought I shut this down.
Hold on.
Put him on that guy.
Hold on, I can't.
That's funny. What the hell? Did it say something crazy?
Hold on. No.
Well, I'm not good at it.
Okay, let's see. Jay says, outside of myself, confirmation from a woman helps and nothing more.
Yes.
That could, exactly.
You know, that's why I heard that, you know, having a woman by your side is the best thing in the world because they empower you. I was talking to this guy. He told me that his dad told him, don't ever, when he was like younger, like probably like during high school time, like if you're going to go out to the club, be with a girl. If you're going to do something like go on vacation, go with a girl. If you're going to do anything that you don't need your guy friends around, like it's not important for guys to just be hanging out with so many guys.
Yeah.
That's why they become those type of people whose mindset is like hood and like, I got to sell drugs to get money. It's like, it's because they're not around women. And if they are, they're just doing it to show their boys that, hey, I got a lot of women in and out. Like, you know what I mean? Like being players and not actually being lovers. And that's what I also see in a lot in the Black American culture is that there's not a lot of men that want to like love a woman and just one woman. It's more seen in other cultures like the Hispanics, not those. They're cheaters too.
They're all men cheat. I mean, not all men, but it's not a color thing.
It's not a color thing, but it is like a thing of like, it's a different way that they love their women.
Yeah.
You know, and
it's appreciation for the woman.
Right.
But I think it also goes to the woman to allow that to happen. A lot of women don't want to be that submissive, don't want to be, don't feel comfortable because again, like I said, a lot of these women are in situations where they're paying for the man. They're
actually paying for the man.
Yeah.
They're telling other women that this is their husband and it's not like, different kind of situations. And it's sad because they thrive on having a man, but they don't really have a man.
Right. Anki says being a man is when you can support your family without hurting them. Right. Period.
I love that. A man who doesn't hurt his family is a real, true man. Because these men, a lot of them, and it's not my
That was the biggest part, without hurting them.
Right.
Because what do we think of like having like a husband, a man and stuff like that? It's like security.
Yeah.
Your security can't be hurting you at the same time. How does that work?
It's horrible to deal with somebody that's where a woman needs to learn that how a man doesn't hurt them. I think a lot of women are okay with men hurting them. I was watching this video because they have potential. Like, why is it the potential is not what matters? It's like, who cares about the other things? The most important things that you have for a man is a security. And if you don't have that, but he's nice to you, like he's nice to you sometimes, but he hurts me mentally, physically, like, no. But women stay with that kind of situation.
I mean, I think it's up to like I said, I will always take responsibility. And I think that women should always, set those boundaries. And men usually perform if you give them no choice. Right. It's the women who allow them to lay up in their bed, lay up in that,
and eat all their kids' stuff.
Yeah. I think that men should be like forced out of the house at certain ages.
Right.
Go out and fend for yourself and go and figure it out. Because in the reality of it, women are doing it too.
That's what
anybody can do it. It doesn't even come down to men or women.
Right.
And I think it's just everything. Anki says women seem to get turned by men who tend to hurt them too. Right. Beverly says you both are so beautiful and this topic is on point. Okay, girl.
Hi, Beverly.
Hey, Beverly. Thank you. True. Right. And, that's so like, what were we talking about? Girl, you got me. You told me I'm beautiful. I'm like,
right? That could change a woman's mind. Like, hold on, what? I am beautiful. Thank you.
Girl, you are too.
Yeah, look at you. Look at Beverly. All right, everybody go check her out and follow her on Facebook. Okay? She mad cute.
Right.
Okay, girl.
I meant turned on. Right. Yeah, women do get turned on by men who hurt them too, because we all have that,
for that.
We all have that masochist inside of us that want somewhat of a drama, a pain. We like that dark side of us, but
it's worthless, ladies. I don't even think it's anything to entertain. At a young age, sure, go through that hard.
Do it in a way that is sexy. Don't do it in a way that's gonna hurt you. Like if you realize you have that tendency, go to S&M, go to bondage, do that with somebody who loves you. So it's like he doesn't have to kill you at the end of the day. Be smart with your kink, right? Because it clearly is a kink, but work it out for yourself. Beverly says turned on, right? She says how women get turned on by abuse, and thank you, loves. Yeah. Enki says women are weak for the alpha male. That is very true.
They are very true. They will get on their knees for that.
No, drink water.
Stay healthy. No.
Women are. I can't even drink because I
gotta manifest.
You know why women are attracted to alpha males? Women are attracted to alpha males because of the protection part. When you're around a man who you feel safe with, it's the best feeling in the world. You feel like a child again. That's the best feeling in the world, everybody can agree, is when you was a kid. You didn't have no bills on your mind. You didn't have nothing on your mind. You got this big, strong man who can handling everything. It's the best feeling in the world.
It is.
You absolutely love that person because not only are they, hitting all the boxes of whatever else, women want, which is not even that big of a list these days. You're also showing to other men, like I got a quality with you. Like it's just like a flex that it's like real. It's a whole
But you know that even though that the woman is turned on by the alpha male, the man is turned on because the woman is turned on. So it's just all good. Like, it's like
Freddie said, Damien, drink your water. Drink that water.
Funny. Yeah, it's water. Freddie.
Yeah. Everybody take
their time to go get your water.
Let's take a sip of water.
Raise our glass for the water.
To the alpha males out there
doing the right thing to the right woman.
I mean, I think I think men should strive to be not necessarily alpha males. You don't have to, necessarily call yourself a title of an animal or whatever. Right. And it doesn't matter if you're alpha, beta, whatever personality that falls into. But I think it falls into like handling your business. Like I'm good. The people around me are good. I got to handle.
And
it's that king energy. Like I remember when I met Eddie Murphy, that was like, because he has an immense amount of money.
Yeah.
And he, I was in his compound and because I could call it that because it was so big. And he was the king in that energy. He was like the man and his whole family was there and his staff was there and everything was, and it was like this, like he deserved that. And you can see like I don't know about, all the stuff in his backstory, but like to see his life and see him moving, I was like, yo, this guy, wow. Like his energy, like I could feel your energy. Like it's a whole different energy. So it's important, like as women, when you're around that type of energy, that's addicting. You don't want to be around somebody a guy that doesn't have that, because if you've been around it. So I say, come on, men. I think that's true. Anki says that's cool, but in the urban hood, that don't lead to financial progress, just dysfunctional relationships. Facts. It does 100%. Lead to dysfunctional relationships.
And that's what we need to fix. Like, we don't need, I think that the dysfunctional relationship is the man finding out that he's a man and how to be a man and how to be independent before he wants to, gravitate to a relationship, and the way that he treats his mom. I think the first person a man should take care of is his mom, because she's so thirsty for you to be in her life. Make sure she's good so that you could be good. Because if your mom's not good, then it's going to be a problem, because she's going to always feel like she's left out, especially if she's a single mom and she doesn't have her own thing going on in her life. It's like, make sure your mom's good before you try to make anybody else good. And
I think the dysfunction,
too,
I think the dysfunction is because that's when it comes down to that rites of passage is more than just how much money you got.
Yeah.
It comes down to, your morals and what kind of person you are. Right. Because if you are the type of guy who doesn't really, we all don't really know ourselves, especially, we're always learning. We're always going through experiences and learning. That was another thing that I was meditating and figuring out, like, we don't make mistakes, we only have experiences, because you don't learn from mistakes, you only learn from experiences. So as we go through, men and women go through these experiences, are you choosing the correct partner? Like, a lot of the times, people be in wild relationships, and it's like, how you end up here
is so dumb,
right?
Like, why are you still with that person? And it's just like, every reason is dumb to me. I don't care. I apologize, because there's a lot of people that I know who are actually making these choices too. You got a kid with him. He take care of this. He take care of that. But
I think it's two people deciding. I think it's like, you got to choose as that man. Is like, does your partner support the life that you want? That's part of being a man, to discern. A man can make real judgments. He's not here making crazy calls like, I don't know, she's a stripper and stuff, so I'm a wife her, and then I'm gonna is she trying to change? Are you still in the same situation? Because I know we had some people in here, people saying like, oh, I can't find a girl. That was an ongoing thing.
Okay.
And that was an ongoing thing, but it was like, where are you trying to find the girl? Oh, in the club. Oh, and then this. Well, are you actually choosing the right type of
I think that
woman?
The way that you find the right type of woman is like, you find her doing something that you like to do, that you would want to. Well, that's kind of like a woman's kind of thing.
What?
To do. Like, to find a man at things that she would like to do.
Oh, I think that most people, especially the people that I know that are married, they usually find their spouses doing things like, if they like to play tennis, they'll find them playing tennis. If they like to surf, they'll do surfing. Right. That's the best like something where it's an activity that you do kind of solo. And that's kind of where you meet the right type of people. But if it's just like at a general common thing where you don't really see an interest or an aligning of that person's personality,
but you can't even tell online, because a lot of people are going that route, because that's just.
But people get into relationships for the wrong reasons, and that's exactly what you were saying before. It's like, what's the reasoning behind it? Why are you with this person? Because in the hood, like he said, it could get very dysfunctional because the reasonings don't align.
No.
And the man doesn't necessarily want a relationship the same way a woman wants the relationship.
Right.
We all know that men usually don't want to say, we're almost, it's always about compromise. It's always about compromise in a relationship. So if you're not willing to compromise, and it's very childish and people have to still do growing.
But we got to understand that it's okay to let them go, because they're okay to let you go. And when they do let each other go, it's so harsh and disrespectful. Nobody's letting each other go. Like, they're blocking them. They're doing, like, nobody's having like a respectful conversation and saying, hey, we just don't line up. Let's just go our separate ways.
Right.
People are having those conversations, but majority of the world is not doing that. I'm blocking you. I'm leaving you. I'm fighting you.
You canceled.
I'm cussing you out. You're done.
Right.
So we're not actually having real life conversations with people to have a real conversation.
Right. Jay says true.
Right.
Enki says for a progressive relationship to work, they both gotta strive to leave the urban mentality and environment.
Right.
Period. Period.
People are so scared to do that. They're so comfortable where they're at. They're so comfortable because they may not have their family again. They may not have their certain friends. They may not have that certain food that they like.
Mm-hmm.
They might be shy. It's all stupid, dumb reasons that it's like, just let go. It's like going on a roller coaster. You know your heart's going to drop, but you're just going to do it because it's exciting. Like,
right.
Isn't it exciting when you do something different, when you do some change in your life? But no, these people, I don't want excitement. I like the same routine I do every single day. Go to McDonald's, eat this.
But I think
that.
I think that, like he said, it comes from both. Mm-hmm. But I think that women have an easier time with this because women, we kind of reach a point in our lives when we hit like a crazy breakup. Mm-hmm. I was explaining this to somebody. Is like, when does a woman, because he was asking me about why do women go through celibacy and why do they say, oh, I'm not dealing with men right now, I'm going through stuff, and why do they do that? He was like, I can be fixing my life but still, sleeping with whoever. And I was saying, well, usually that happens to a woman when she is about to be, she's went through something very crazy, mm-hmm. and she really had to look at herself, mm-hmm. and seen that there was a really big problem and that there was a pattern. So she went through a really big breakup, and a woman gets to that point where she just goes into like, mm-hmm. I gotta fix me, mm-hmm. because there's real problems. And right. women go to spirituality. That's why we see like, some old hoes where they go. They be the most spiritual ones. Right. And she was like, wasn't she a whole stripper just like last year? Now she got crystals and tarot cards. Right. That's why, because she had to go through that part of her for her to reach, herself. And so women always, because we're emotional, we care about those kind of things. Yeah. But for men, it's usually in a more practical, logical way where they're like, okay, I'm going to get out of my parents' house. Yeah. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. But then now you got to learn.
That's why the men leave their house, because there's no privacy.
Right.
They can't bring their girl in this house. They can't do this. They can't do that.
But then is the man necessarily ready for what comes with having a relationship? That's a whole different beast in being a man. Is what are you to a woman? How are you going to relate to this woman? This, especially if you didn't have an example of how to, be in a marriage, mm-hmm. or what compromise with a woman looks like, or how to lead a woman, or how to let a man lead. Mm-hmm. So those factors come in, because I know, like, for a good portion, I'm talking a lot, but for a good portion, I was like, I don't know how to be a girlfriend. And I had to realize that for me to realize how to be a girlfriend, because it was like, I didn't know. Mm-hmm. It was like, I'm not acting like a girlfriend and I don't know how to be a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. That sounds ridiculous, but it's like, if you were single and you're self-preserving and you don't know how to be a couple. Mm-hmm. You don't know how to compromise. Mm-hmm. You don't know how to do that. So it's important that as you go through these cycles of learning about yourself, learning about the people around you, learning about the collective, that you take into account, like, I need to learn this. This is important. And so, like I said, women will go through something shocking that usually mm-hmm. forces us in there. And men, I mean, we don't know. Y'all sometimes don't want to unlock y'all emotional side. Yeah. And women be sitting there like, playing 20 different scenarios in her head.
And then you hate what the woman's doing, and then you just leave her and don't say nothing. So it's just a whole bunch of commotion that we don't even need to deal with. Find yourself, men.
Okay. Enki says most urban women don't want to progress because dependence on the government assistance. Ooh.
The government assistance. So the urban woman, he's saying, they want to depend on the government assistance. Urban women, get on here and let us know what you think about that.
Something?
Assistance? People can't keep
something? There's some, yes. But that is not only... That will be urban women. That's not color, because
he said urban women.
Yeah,
he didn't say color. Woman.
Right.
He said urban woman.
But I am seeing a lot of women Black women on these, social media platforms, they're doing tarot readings and they got crazy views. They're selling products. They're selling herbal care. I'm seeing a lot of these women who quote unquote are ghetto leveling up with their business, and they're reaching an audience, and they're so I think especially now, because women is the future, a lot of women are picking themselves up and leveling up,
and
because
they're leaving these Black men behind.
Yeah.
With their government assistance.
Doing
all that tarot reading and stuff.
I do see that. I see that. But they sometimes taking the men with them. Jason.
I'm sure a lot of these women got dusty. A lot of y'all Black women, I'm looking at y'all like you're so beautiful, you have so much potential, and then you look at your boyfriend and you're like,
it's because he's cute.
No.
Is that you guys ladies. Look good together?
You got to think about your future. You got to think about the security. That man ain't going to protect you.
Anyways, Jay says many of us don't know how to love because we're too busy telling people how we want to be loved. And that's the thing. You don't have to tell people how to. You got to love yourself to show people how much you love yourself. Like, if somebody sees like this person like must really love their self, like they take their time to, they make sure whatever it is that you do, like, oh, she always comes.
Like you love yourself.
Yeah, you always come, you put yourself together. It looks like you took your time when you write. You write somebody pretty. You write nice. Or like somebody get you a gift and they took the time to write you a nice card. It's like, dang, like, it's the energy that person puts in everything they do. That's how you show people how to love you, is how you love yourself.
Right.
So,
and how you love
that
them.
is facts. Jay says men do not open up because most men are afraid that women will use that against them. Yeah.
You're right. A little bit.
That is true. Yeah. That is true, Jay. I think that is true because
100%.
women
very judgmental. They will use that against you the next time they have an argument with you. Listen, little crybaby boy. That's it matters what type of woman, because women, we get in our feelings, but we love to see you sensitive too. It makes us feel like we know
we're not the only one who's in this relationship,
and we feel like we know you. Like, he actually really cares about me. He cried in front of me. He told me how much he loves me.
Right?
Like, that feels like 100% like amazing to a woman. Like that,
because you feel closer to him, and you, whatever doubt you may have had, it goes away because it's like he wouldn't have opened up to me like that if he wasn't
to anybody.
Yeah, I'm special.
Right.
So women look for validation through that, which is some psychological issue.
I'm going to show you, like, we're going to talk about that real quick. I know we're going on while you can talk. Just go to that YouTube thing.
Which one?
No, nothing that you have over here. Just go to, you closed it down or something?
Okay.
So I'm going to show you a clip real quick, since we know how to do this now, of like someone explaining how he changes the way that he speaks when he's around his woman. So go ahead, talk as well.
Well, I just want to see the thing, but do you know the exact part?
Yeah, I can find it. I could just put on mute. You see where they have their wives?
I think we should do that next time. But we get it.
Well, that was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was. See how she always, when I want to give you guys some advancement, she's like, nah, we get it. Like, moving on. She's not going to get our level up. And I was like, all right, fine, cool. I thought
Jay says y'all response laugh out loud. No, it's true. It's true. Women really need that confirmation that guy is in it with them. So if the guy is willing to, spill a couple beans and let us know how he feels.
Spill your beans.
Yeah.
We like when you tell us your friend's business. We like when you tell us your own business, your mom's business, where everybody's business. Once we know everybody's business, we feel like we're part of your family.
Right.
Even if you didn't marry us yet, we're like, oh, we know him. It's like these girls who call their man, like from the hood. We're going back to that. Like they call their man their real name when the hood people call him like a nickname or something.
Yeah,
she
right.
feels special because she calls him by his real name.
Right.
Like, girl, you're not special. That's nothing. So it's like, you know, our mindset is so stupid. We got to get better common sense. Guys.
Right. Enki says, rites of passage is being able to hold your partner's deepest secrets without judgment.
No judgment.
No judgment.
I love that. Yeah.
And that's the thing. I mean, I think with women, we don't necessarily gonna use it against you, because it against you to who? Yourself?
Yeah.
Unless she's gonna say something like, it matters what type of woman you chose.
Exactly. But a man, I think a man, that's one thing that you guys know. You know, you don't tell a lot of women your business. You got to be comfortable with her. Yeah. It has to be like pillow talk and like, you're like, I actually like, you feel like my therapist, how much I love you. That's when you tell her your beans. But when she's just like somebody who's just like, you know, you don't have that energy. Like I want to tell you stuff. She's more talking.
When that's not your girl.
Yeah. Like, even when that's your girl. Some guys are dating girls that they don't actually.
That's not your, no, that's business. Dating girls. I'm talking about that's your girl. Like that's your girlfriend and that's the one person who you're with, or your wife. Like, I'm not talking about guys who talk to like a lot of girls and sleeping with a lot of girls and he's just telling these women like all of this. Like, nah, you don't need to tell none of them that. We know, like, everything should be surface until it's not anymore. And it's not anymore once that person becomes, you know, exclusive to, you know, you guys both being together. Yeah. And that is a rite of passage, because when you're able to do that, it can be a turn off to women too. It's a turn off to women when it's too soon. Yeah. When it's too soon, it's like, what's going on with this guy? What is he in love with me? Right. Like it becomes like, okay.
There's different stages on how you have to, you know, treat a woman. Like sometimes you got to play hard to get men, for women to be like, oh, I'm actually interested in you. What are you doing? Right. So it's like, it's a whole game, cat and mouse or whatever.
It is a little
cute,
it is a little
but
game.
It's annoying, and it's like,
and it depends on what you're really saying. Like at the end of the day, like if it's something like that makes sense to be sharing, yeah. Jay says, dang if you do, dang if you don't. Right. Like, right. You got to know how to measure when to go. Like, you know, nobody, because I'm learning how to surf. That's so weird, but I'm learning how to surf, and it's about that balance. And it's like, you can only learn how to pop up on the board, but like, you're going to have to know, like, you know, how to, like when you drive a car with a clutch, like you're going to know how to move that clutch just in time to make it go. Because if you do it too wrong at a mistake. So it's all about you finding your balance. And that's relationships. That's the rites of passage. That's knowing, you know, it's really about finding your balance, because nobody could really steer you and say, oh, go this way, go that way. It's like, you got to find your balance. You're going to move more this way. You're going to move more that way.
That's the same thing with yoga.
Yeah, that's the same thing with relationships. It's a give and take. You're going to give a little more this way. He's going to, you know, give you, it's a give and take. But primarily speaking,
okay, let's hear it.
The man should always be on like the giving side, because a man gives you, right? He he get like physically, he gives it to you. He has to give you the semen for you to create the child. Like he's the giver, and you are the receiver. Yeah. So allow that man to give to you. That's why it's important that for that rites of passage that women allow men to have that. Allow that man
to be a man.
Yeah. Like even sometimes like women like just try to rule the man around or like tell him how to do things. Like let him figure it out.
Yeah.
Let him figure it out.
Right.
You let him lead you. That's why like in like different cultures is because they have like certain dances and it's like the man leads in that dance. It's allowing that man to take that lead is important for those relationships as well. Enki says, so rite of passage. I love that you can is first finding confidence in yourself. Okay.
That is the number one thing you need to do. You can't find it in anybody else. You got to find it in yourself.
Right.
That is extremely the rites of passage. It's to
Heavy
find that page,
facts.
chapter, book, because you got to go through it to find yourself. And you got
we go through many rites of passage.
Right.
I think that's the beautiful thing about life is like it's ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like another sun's come, like life goes on.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay. Like I remember, no, it is true because it's like, okay. Like I remember like when people used to like cancel, I remember I was like, yeah, like a couple of years ago, I was partying like New York or whatever. And I was supposed to go to brunch and it didn't happen, but we like got ready and whatever, the guy like flaked on us and we didn't end up going to lunch with him. But then we were like, okay, but we're already dressed. So life goes on. Right. Let's just go anyways. It's like, are we going to sit here and cry? And ever since that, cause we said like life goes on, it was like everything like, oh, that didn't work. Oh, life goes on. Right. Life goes on. Like it's just going to keep on going.
It's not a big deal.
It's like
you have to feel like it's not a big deal for you to
it's an experience. Right. It's not a mistake. Mm-mm. It's not, it's not something that, is going to end. No. What is the thing? I didn't have any money. I spent all my money. I didn't die. Like, because life goes on. Like, who cares what happens? You're here to experience and to learn and adjust. Yeah.
Because nothing's wrong.
Right.
Remember that.
Oh my gosh, guys. Okay, quick story. Somebody wrote us on our...
Oh gosh, go ahead.
On a YouTube comment. They deleted it though.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna let them live. They were like, nothing's wrong?
Yeah.
What do you mean? Do you see the current climate?
Life goes on.
Life goes on, people. Anki says, it seems like you two answered the dude in the videos complains about rites of passage.
Yeah.
I think you did too. Thank you guys for helping us with that.
Rites of passage.
Rites of passage, everyone.
Rites of passage, everybody, and drink a lot of water and stay healthy.
Find your rites of passage. Fight for your rights. Right. Go after what you want in life.
And don't listen to the stereotype in the news because they don't know what they're talking about.
Right.
And you are the one that creates your reality. So enjoy. And if it goes wrong, oh well, life happens.
Keep going. Mm-hmm. Make adjustments. There's a new sun coming tomorrow. Right. That sun's going to be back, so you get to go again,
And there's nothing you could do about it but make a change.
Right. And, like, you got to remember, nobody knows you out here, so who's really judging you?
Even if they know you, they don't know you.
Right. Even if they know
I'll throw them all away if they think they know me.
Yeah. It's like me, I'm the queen. I will embarrass myself, and trust me, everybody who's there, they will never know me again. Okay? You guys got to remember that people can't take life too seriously. Like, remember, nobody knows you. This is just an experience. Have a good time. Live your life.
Their background in your
right.
production that's going on here.
Yes. Mm-hmm. You got to remember everybody's background. To somebody's, no, I'm not background. No. If y'all sitting here, I'm not background in your life. I'm a supporting character.
Exactly.
But
lead role,
they're background people. And a lot of these people, they got some, surprise guest star roles in your sitcom, but you can push them back into background if you need to.
Right.
Okay,
you can actually close the door and tell them that you're blacklist.
Right. Okay. Jay says, "Power to the people." Yes. Power to the people, and like we're saying now in the stocks with GameStop,
right.
The people are taking control and they're saying, oh, we're going to drive this stock all the way up. So, guys, if you guys want to support that and give a big middle finger to Wall Street and show them who's really in control, jump on that GameStop stock. So, guys, thank you guys. Right. Thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight.
Yes, we love it when you guys intervene and be a part of us. And just like, it feels like we all are just hanging out and it's lovely. And like, if you guys want to do the call-in next week, we would love to have you, or video, and just chime in. And we'll also find another video to talk about. I'm going to play that guy from I Am Athlete. I don't know his name right now, but we'll add I Am Athlete next week. And we're going to be talking about how, how men who love their wives or love their girlfriend, how their personality changed. So let's talk about that next week.
Anki says we need more women empowering men with the truth.
Yes.
Thank you.
We love you, man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for all you do.
Yes.
I mean, we
learn from the best.
Right. Okay. So thank you for supporting us. Thank you for watching tonight, guys.
Don't forget to hit up our social medias at Nothing's Wrong Podcast. Facebook. There's so many of you guys. Please go and hit up our YouTube. We need that algorithm going. I mean, it's not a big deal. We're not trying to get famous, but we do want to have more people.
We ain't get all cute like this for no reason. So get us trending, get us all here. You know what I'm saying? Okay, guys. And always...
Also, if you would like to donate to our, to Nothing's Wrong Podcast, hit up our Cash App. I mean, our production, our internet, and all this stuff that we're talking and doing. And even this new program that we're on, it's not free. And if you want to help us out, you can hit up our Cash App. It is $ Nothing's Wrong Pod. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight and tuning in every night. We'll see you in the next video. And always remember, nothing's wrong. There's nothing you can do about it.
Bye, guys.
Oh, that's hot.